Meanwhile, a global campaign to call out China's genocide is on. After Canada, the Dutch parliament has passed a resolution. They've labelled China's treatment of Uighurs as genocide. What do these indictments mean for China? And what more does the world plan to do beyond sticking labels? Here's a report.
The Uighurs in China are the target of a genocide. America was the first to declare it. Soon, Canada followed suit, and now the Netherlands has joined the campaign. It's the latest country where lawmakers have passed a resolution on China's genocide. It's a non-binding motion which says a genocide on the Uyghur minority is occurring in China. The resolution stops short of blaming Beijing directly, but it's the first time that a European Parliament has taken such a step. China says genocide in Xinjiang is an outright lie. But it's getting harder for Beijing to convince the world. British Foreign Secretary Dominic Raab says the Uyghurs are being tortured on an industrial scale.
The reported abuses, which include torture, forced labour and forced sterilisation of women, are extreme and they are extensive. They're taking place on an industrial scale.
The French seem to agree. Speaking at the United Nations Human Rights Council, French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian pointed at the evidence against China.
From the Xinjiang region, we have received witness accounts and corroborating documents that point to unjustifiable practice against Uyghurs and a system of large-scale surveillance and institutionalized repression.
What is China's response? As usual, Chinese diplomats have gone into an overdrive. Their mission is to block any official resolution that condemns Beijing. The Chinese diplomat in Geneva rejected the criticism from the West before the Human Rights Council. Earlier this week, in Beijing, a Chinese spokesperson held up the photograph of a victim who revealed Chinese abuses. The wolf warriors call her an actor who is disseminating falsehoods.
Like the Uyghur woman Zumrat Dawood I mentioned earlier, this person is just a tool, an actor, used by some forces to smear and attack China.
When faced with criticism at global platforms, China deploys its diplomats to fire back. The same thing happened with Hong Kong. When China was criticized for its crackdown in Hong Kong last year, it secured the support of more than 50 countries at the Human Rights Council. Similarly, when Xinjiang was razed in 2019, 54 countries signed a statement in support of China. Now it's back in focus. The UK has called for a UN-led probe into the Uyghur detention camps. The UN Human Rights Chief is ready to visit Xinjiang.
My office continues to assess the alleged patterns of human rights violations, including reports of arbitrary detention, ill treatment and sexual violence in institutions, coercive labor practices and erosion of social and cultural rights.
But resolutions and criticism have little impact on China. Earlier this week, Human Rights Watch said China has increased its persecution of Uyghurs, with more persecutions and longer prison sentences. Branding it a genocide is a welcome first step. The world needs to follow this up with more and make China pay. Bureau Report, World is One.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.